I ate one meal a day for 6 months and lost 30 pounds. I'm going to tell you my experience, share my recommendations, and so much more. Check it out. This is A Moment with Jay.
I just wanted to hop on the mic and say, I know the world been a little chaotic and everything. I just wanted to check and make sure everything good in the hood, like sure, you know what I mean? Say hi to the fam. Okay, let's get to work. What up?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, JusJrdn here. We're doing a longer. I guess it's not a longer one. We're doing a vlog and a podcast, kind of all in one. I drop a weekly podcast, but I also do a daily vlog where I have been eating one meal a day for the last 180 something days, so 6 months, and I've lost 30 pounds. And it's been a cool experience. It's been a cool experience documenting the whole thing. It's been a cool experience just eating one meal a day. It's been a challenge, and it's been rewarding all in one. So as you can see, if you're watching, I have a whole bunch of things that I want to go through today because I feel like this is a significant milestone. When I first started, for those of you who don't know me, my name is JusJrdn. I've been a personal trainer for about 11 years. I'm a co-owner of a gym, Free Fitness, here in Edmonton, Alberta. I also own a music and entertainment company called Prime Purpose Movement, where we believe better art and healthier people will change the world. I'm a musician, a podcaster, and a producer. So I do a couple of things. Yeah, and if you really want to support me and the channel, go to www.primepurposemovement.com/shop and pre-order the vinyl record that I have coming out later this year. So that's a little bit about myself. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the whole thing because we got a lot to cover here. So yeah, I ate one meal a day for the last 6 months. And I want to talk about why I did this to begin with. So, so far I introduced myself, and now I'm going to start with the why I started to do this. So at the beginning of this, I gained, we're talking about, coming off of COVID, and just like many folks, I put on quite a bit of weight. I think at my heaviest, I was probably pretty close to 240. And I'm 5'8", maybe 5'8.5" on a good day. Maybe 5 1/4 on a good day. Let's be real. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I did. So enjoy. I've been pretty fit and active, and it's not like I wasn't active during COVID and stuff. Definitely not as active as I used to be, and not as active as I am now. But just like everyone, I put on way too much weight. I was eating like shit. I was drinking a ton of alcohol at the time as well. And, I was huge. And it's crazy looking back how big. And I'll show you kind of some of the before and afters. Man, I tried to dress nicer in this podcast too. Shout out to my boy, Andrew Menzak, for the fit. And, so then I was struggling after COVID and stuff. I was still fasting, and, every once in a while throwing a 24, 48, and the 72. I've had a lot of experience doing different diets. I did vegan for, I think, a week. Vegetarian, I think I did for a week. Vegan, I think I did for 3 days once. I did carnivore for a while. I've kind of dabbled. I always wanted to have the experience before I help somebody else with the diet. I had a vegetarian client, so I was like, okay, what is it like to actually eat like a vegetarian? So I tried being a vegetarian for like a week or something. Funny story, I dated a girl who wasn't a vegetarian, went vegetarian for a couple of weeks, and then came back, but came back like it was a religion or something. That's funny. But during those few weeks or a month where she wasn't eating meat, fuck, was it ever just, I was like, man, I eat meat. Now you don't want to eat meat. I'm having issues. We're having issues communicating where to eat and stuff. It was not fun. Anyways, I'm getting off topic already. So I'm fat as fuck, and and not feeling any kind of way about it, and I had some people point it out, but I was like, you fatter than me, who gives a shit, whatever. And for the longest time, I knew I had to get the weight off and everything, but I just didn't know what to stick with. I was too loosey goosey for the longest time, and I didn't really know what to stick with. And the homie Cole Robinson, shout out the Snake Diet Wizard, calls me up one day, and he's like, "Yo, Jay." We start talking and all this, and he's like, "Why don't you try to lose just 1 pound a week, eating one meal a day?" It's like, I bet you there's a lane that you can stick with, and you just eat one meal a day and just weigh in. Write it down in a notebook every day, what you weigh in, step on the scale right before you eat every day, and that's it. And we were on the phone for an hour or two, actually probably 3 hours. When we were on the phone, we talked for a while. And if you know Cole, you know. And so I was like, okay. And the whole thing was like, because I was, at that time I was 228.6 pounds. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. I'm gonna commit myself to a full, and that's what it was. It's like, man, I got about 50 pounds to lose. Let's try to get down to like 180, 175, and see how things go. And so that was gonna take about a year. So I was like, okay, if I lose about 1 pound a week for a year, it's slow progress, but it's consistent progress, and I'm not going to have to do anything drastic except eat one meal a day and get shredded. And to kind of put this all together too is this summer, fall is the 10-year anniversary when I competed in men's physique. So I did a men's physique competition and got super shredded. And I don't know if I have those pictures on here still, actually. Let's see if I can pull those up for y'all. And so I did a men's physique competition a long time ago. Well, almost 10 years ago. Not a long time ago, but almost 10 years ago. And I don't know where they would be on this computer. Anyways, because I knew I threw them in somewhere before. And so I wanted to do a 10-year physique update as well, and just kind of see where I would be at if I. Man, I'm looking through some old photos right now. Damn, this is a throwback moment for me. See if I can get. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Good old Facebook. Oh, that's not right. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, JusJrdn here, interrupting myself to do my own ad. Thank you so much for all the likes, subscriptions, and thanks for checking out this video. If you really want to support me and the channel, the best thing that you can do is pre-order my vinyl record. I've been working on this record for forever. It's only coming out on vinyl. There will only ever be 1,000 copies of this vinyl ever released, and it would mean the world if you bought it. I spent a lot of time, a lot of money, worked with some of the best musicians in all of Canada, especially all of Edmonton, to put this together. It's a beautiful album, influences of rock, hip hop, and it's just a beautiful, unique piece of art, and it's made for the art lovers. But it's going to be gold. It's beautiful colors, so many great artists on this. And yeah, it's my second album of all time, Olympus, and I'm so proud of it. So it would mean the world if you could pick it up. If you really want to support the channel, it would mean everything. All right, back to the podcast. Oh, also, before back to the podcast, you can pre-order it at www.primepurposemovement.com slash shop. All right. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm gonna throw up a picture right now. Oh, that's not right. Sorry, y'all. Discard, cancel. What's going on? Save, whatever. What's going on? Nope. I'm gonna show y'all this men's physique photo if it kills me. That's what's gonna happen right now. Oh, it's this one. Ah, there we go. Oh, boom. So there's me, men's physique. Men's physique. Oh, that's not men's physique. And that's my back. Boom. By the vinyl. Boom. That's funny that that's in the middle. So I was super shredded, super lean, super small. I was 163. I got crushed in this competition. I came dead last. What a time in my life that was. That was a crazy moment in my life. It was fun, and then I went on a trip to Mexico and I was shredded. Yeah. So anyways, so I did that 10 years ago, and I wanted to get just as shredded this year. So that's the goal. And I figured if I was 163 on stage back then, it's been 10 years and I've been consistently training. So I was like, man, if I get down to like 175 again, I'll probably be pretty shredded. So that's the goal right now, to get that lean, that shredded. Is that where I'm going to stay? Probably not. I probably will jump around 180 to 190. 180, yeah, probably in that range, but I want to get as shredded as possible just to get a comparison shot of 10 years. And then I was even thinking that this might be a fun thing to challenge myself kind of for the rest of my life. Every 10 years, just try to get as lean as possible and just do a comparison shot of my physique every decade. Just a little challenge. So yeah, so that's kind of what Cole convinced me. And then Cole also convinced me, he's like, you could probably help a lot of people by just posting what you eat every day. Just show people that it's not that hard to eat one meal every day. Because that's one thing I forget. People think it's crazy that I eat one meal a day. And to me, it's like, whatever, man. I don't even nowadays, I don't even really think about it. Last night around 7, I started eating, I'll talk about kind of what I do now in a little bit, actually. We got an itinerary to follow. So he convinced me. So he's like, post a video every day, write in your vlog every day, or write your weight down every day and only eat one meal a day. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, okay, cool, let's do this. And at the beginning, I was like, okay, all I got to do is eat one meal a day. I didn't even really change what I was eating. I just stuck it into one window. Where I would just sit down and eat everything at one time. I like this style of eating because it really, I don't like to think about food all day, and I love food, don't get me wrong. And, I definitely miss breakfast and stuff, but I can eat that shit later on. Like a nice breakfast sandwich or something, I don't mind eating it in the evening. It's nothing, man. I'm kind of craving a breakfast sandwich right now. I've been craving a breakfast sandwich for a minute. Anyways, so so that's where I've been at for the last 6 months. Is every day I've stepped on the scale and my weight's gone up, it's gone down, it's fluctuated. People have called me an idiot for not knowing what I'm doing. People at the beginning were like, this idiot's never gonna lose weight, you can't lose weight this way. Well, I'm 30 pounds down and I got no fucking haters in the comments anymore. The results speak for themselves. And the channel has grown in the last 6 months, over 200,000 views and 1,700 subs. So pretty cool to see the growth in the channel. And so that's been really, really awesome. So now let's talk about the results. So I'm gonna throw up. Um, I'm gonna throw up the not that one, not that one, not that pre-order Olympus on vinyl, but it's not that one. Where are the pics? Oh, there they are. Sorry, I don't want that. I want something else here. Let me clear my throat. Y'all know that song? Here we go. Here we go. So here are the before, and these are my most recent. This is my most recent after photo, taken just a couple of days ago. So you can see, man, the progress speaks for itself. Especially in my face, huge difference, but obviously my body, I'm getting way more shredded. Let's pull out the side. I should have, I was tired. I was in the middle of workout. I should have contracted my shoulder blades, and then my back. So, 30 pounds down, huge difference. I got another 25 to go, 24 to go. And so I'm going to get super shredded. So I'm super excited about it. The progress has been crazy. And, somebody left a comment. Someone left a comment. I'm going to read now, actually. It's a pretty good one. I wasn't going to get to the comments till later. But green lizard balls. I haven't read the name. I never read the name before. I just read the comment. Oh my, that killed me. Wow. That's you're on a different radio station now. Haha. How does it feel being 199 versus 228? Like, can you imagine feeling 228 again right now? The 160s are going to feel unreal. And that's facts. Cause man, and I was just talking to my youngest sibling, Ella, about this the other day. I'm feeling great. Pull-ups are feeling amazing. Push-up, like all the body weight stuff, especially running. I've been jogging a lot more strictly because I'm like, wow, I can't believe how light I feel, how agile I feel. My limbs feel great, like my knees and stuff, even though I've had past injuries. My body is feeling incredible. I still am feeling very strong during this time. Even though I'm 30 pounds down, my bench press has increased. So I've also gotten stronger, which is a good telltale sign that I am not losing muscle. So even though, and that's the thing. So let me get to the question. How does it feel being 199 versus 228? It feels incredible, man. And, I feel much better, much healthier, much happier inside my own body. And I'm very excited to keep pushing and moving forward with it. It's been a... So let's talk about the results. Let me bring back up the progress pics here. Oh, let's go with... Oh, sorry, I got too many things open here. So, so I lost 30 pounds. Sorry, I also have my notes over here too. I got a lot going on this episode. Now let's go like this and go like this. Okay, yeah, let's leave that up there. I want to leave that up there for right now. So I'm stronger. Oh, that's another thing, man, is I want to talk about just my general eating habits. Oh my goodness, what a tongue tie that was. I'm telling you, I'm a pretty decent rapper though. I'm actually a pretty good rapper. Anyways, so I lost 30 pounds. I'm getting stronger, but my eating habits are better. Just generally. struggling today, man. I don't even know why. So my eating habits have improved. And this was a big one. Why? At the beginning, when I was eating one meal a day, I did not change my overall eating habits. A lot of junk food, popcorn. I still eat popcorn and shit, chips and all that. But I wasn't really focused. Other than just getting my protein in, I wasn't really focused on anything. And then over time, it's about building the habit first, in my mind, always, especially because I had a year to lose the weight. I still have the year to lose the weight. The patience, and actually I was talking to my twin brother who's also trying to hit 175 but trying to gain it. He's like, I've always wanted to try to do all these physical tasks as much as possible. He's like, I just need to slow it down. And I was like, yes, bro, yes. I'll get to that later though. So when I started off, my biggest thing was just eat one meal a day. Fucking eat whatever you want during that one meal a day, but eat one meal a day. So that's what I did. And I still was losing weight initially because I was eating so terribly all day long that just restricting it to that one meal a day helped. And then over time, I tried a couple of different things and all that. Yeah, and we'll get into that too. So actually, you know what? This is probably a good time to answer this question. There was this great question asked by Unibot47. Yeah, let me answer this one right now too, because this is a great one. Damn, bud, them abs showing. I'll read the whole thing. Damn, bud, them abs showing, biceps looking good, and the back is coming along nicely. You're crushing it. Very much looking forward to the video answering all the questions. That's this one. I'm dying to know what your thoughts are on all the different approaches, the OMAD, 2080, etc., in relation to how much success you had with each, how you felt, etc. Struggling myself, stuck at 250, 255. I usually stagnate at around 245 or so. Low cal, high protein, low carb, and the water retention from sodium, weightlifting, etc. is messing with me, but it hasn't been that long. It's inspiring to see you stay positive despite huge fluctuations, like when you went from 202 to 211. Keep up the good work. So let me touch a lot of really awesome points to talk on with this one. This was a huge one, and one of the ones that I really wanted to spend a lot of time talking about. So thank you for all your compliments, and you got this, G. 250, you're kind of starting about where I started from, and if I'm telling you, consistency and just pushing through is what's going to get you there. Now, one of the biggest things you can see from tracking my progress is if you go and you look at my videos, and just so that you know, the end of this video will be the OMAD the vlog that I usually post. It will be the regular one. I just combine them every once in a while for the special episodes. So the biggest thing that I want to address first is the weight fluctuations. And this has been since day one at the beginning, where people are like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's freaking gaining so much weight overnight and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to look up on Google right now. I want to show y'all something about just the size. Yeah, it's right there. Sorry, I didn't even know it was popping up right there. One study suggests that the total body water can fluctuate up to 5% daily. Now, sorry, there's a lot of windows open here. Sheesh. I weigh, let's just say I weigh 199 pounds. So that means, 5% of my body weight is almost 10 pounds. That's why you see such drastic, for me, 100%, I can put on that much water weight, no problem. I can go from 199 to 209 the next day, strictly if I get too much sodium and I'm pounding back the water. If you know anything about me, especially the way I train and how intense I train, or if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I sweat buckets, buckets. And I have ever since I started even playing sports and stuff. I remember playing basketball in like junior high for Wellington Warriors. Shout out Wellington Warriors, man. It's been a minute. I should throw up a pic of my old self uh, playing basketball, my skinny little motherfucking self. And they used to call me the like a lizard, because I would just be dripping sweat, and actually, a lot of my high school playing basketball and playing sports, I would cramp up so bad because I would play. I remember me and my homie Jake, we played on a couple teams together during the season, and so if there was sometimes we'd have two basketball tournaments in one weekend at the same time, and we would play 3, 4, 5 games of basketball in a day, and our bodies would fucking, I would cramp up so bad. I would get these freaking double leg cramps and but now I know not only was it extremely strenuous, but it was strictly because I wasn't getting enough water and enough sodium and potassium. I remember they had me eating bananas. Everyone thought it was magnesium, but now I know. If I knew then what I know now, I would be, a much better ball player. But, anyways, so that's all I wanted to say. I sweat like a motherfucker, especially if I'm doing cardiovascular. If I'm weight training, not really, unless we're doing like high reps or some kind of circuit training. But as soon as we're doing, it's like, look at all the hair I have on my head. Of course it's hot. Of course I'm hot. I'm a big boy. I'm 200 pounds, 199 pounds, lots of hair. I sweat. And then, and I need to replenish that water too. So it's like, people are like, what, you drink? Because snake juice is essentially water with electrolytes in it. Shout out Cole. And so I'll drink, some days I'll drink 4 liters of snake juice, and people are like, oh, no wonder you're retaining so much water. Yeah, but you don't understand. I just flushed out 10 pounds of water. I'm dehydrated, And so that's a big thing for me is hydration and why my weight fluctuates, and because my level of activity fluctuates too. So on the days where I'm not training, on my rest days, I still am drinking water because I'm thirsty. So then you'll see my weight because I'm just holding on a bunch of water because, my body's like, well, you usually sweat a fuck ton, so why aren't you sweating yet? We're just going to save this until you do, and so that's why you can see such drastic changes in my and then obviously if I go and eat a bunch of shit food, I will also just retain a bunch of water from all the crappy food and the carbohydrates as well. But to me, it's strictly just a water thing. And if you see my weight diary from the beginning to now, you'll see these huge fluctuations, and it makes sense to me. The science has always worked out to me, but people are ridiculous with their lack of knowledge, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm very educated, and I know my body very well. I've been a personal trainer for a long time, an athlete before that, and I'm constantly learning and trying to evolve my knowledge. So anyway, so that's a big thing, especially with water retention. If anyone's ever that's something you need to pay attention to, and why it's all about the trend down if you're trying to lose weight, or the trend up. It's not about any given day, and yeah, you should have those milestones. Like when I hit 199, that was huge. That was so exciting, and then when I hit 195, I'll be excited. 190, it's have your goals, but then it's okay if you're fluctuating. You're not supposed to be one weight forever. Your body kind of fluctuates, and that's just how it is. As long as you're trending down, and there was weeks where it didn't seem like I was losing weight or anything like that. But if you're in a calorie deficit, that's another thing too. If you're in a calorie deficit and you're being fucking honest and you're not lying to your fucking self and you're keeping yourself accountable to the internet, in my case, even if you're not dropping weight, and you've seen it with me many times, where there might be a week, there might be 2 weeks where I'm in a calorie deficit, but maybe my sleep isn't there, or my sleep isn't there, or my stress is extra high. Those things come into play with weight loss so much. And then and so I would have temporary stalls, and then I would lose a pound, and then lose another pound, and then lose 3 pounds. And then you know what I'm saying? It's like there's so much more. And when you're aware of all of those things, and you know you're putting in the right effort, you don't always need to change. So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they're always trying to change. They're always trying to go from one thing. Oh, this isn't working. I didn't lose any weight this week. Oh, I haven't lost weight in 2 weeks. Oh no, this is bullshit. It's like, maybe you need maybe you just need an extra hour of sleep, or maybe you need to drop your carbohydrate level just a little bit more, or maybe you need to walk just 30 more minutes. Maybe you don't have to make these drastic changes, and then you just make better changes over time. So anyways, we talked a lot about that. It's all about building a solid habit and continuing through and improving over time. Now, like the question said, so water retention was a huge one, and it's hard to not, I understand, it's hard to not get demotivated when you're not getting the results that you want. Yeah, I'd love to be 50 pounds down at 2 months in, and I could have achieved, well, something as drastic. Yeah, I could have fasted for 60 days and lost that weight. I would have been miserable. Because one thing that the 1 meal a day, I haven't really missed out on anything. Anyways, I don't want to get too into that. I'm getting too ahead of myself, but I want to talk about kind of some of the different approaches that I've done, because that's what was asked here. Now, I did the 20-80. Now, if anyone's wondering what the 20-80 was, it was 20% of my calories came from protein, 80% came from fats. So essentially, it was a hardcore keto diet. So I was testing my ketones and everything. So I think this was the most weight that I lost for the time that I was doing it. And honestly, the 20-80 or keto, strict keto diet was great. I learned a lot at that time. I was really into olive oil. I'm a little broke now. That's why I haven't been shooting that expensive olive oil. And I felt really, really actually healthy during the 20-80. I felt, because, it's so restrictive that, and that's the part that's hard. It's so restrictive. As soon as you're having any carbohydrates, you're out of ketosis, and you have to spend so many days to get into ketosis. And so that part was a bitch and a headache, and there was some issues with some sleep, but for the most part it was pretty good. And I liked the food on 20-80. I did. I really enjoyed the food. And with keto is pretty simple if you're going to stick with it, full out. And or the 20-80 keto. What I'll also say about that is that diet is pretty hard on your body, but it's good on your body, especially if you need to lose a significant amount of weight, especially if you have issues controlling your carbohydrate intake. But it's especially good if you have certain kinds of disorders and sickness. So my sister went on to this diet, and she's doing, not the 20-80 specifically, but keto, and she's doing really good, and she's really enjoying it. And my mom, she gets seizures, and she's been doing it, and she really likes doing it as well. So there are very good medical and health benefits for it. It's not for everyone, and I'm not saying that it is, but it's definitely a really cool tool. I really like it, and I definitely will use it in the future. And if I ever need to really cut the weight, I probably would do it again, because it's not, this is one thing too. Not that you should be eating junk food and stuff, but the alternatives they have for keto products, like the keto breads and stuff they have now, are all delicious and made with such good ingredients, I was so impressed where certain things are, it's like, damn, this product is more expensive and a little bit higher in calories, but it's healthier than the original, like the carbonate bread. Really, really good. So I did OMAD, which I still am doing OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. I did the 2080. I did the low cal, which I was trying to do like 1,000 to 1,200 calories. That was hard. That was a hard one. I still am kind of flipping around 1,500 to 2,000, and then some days I'll have 2,400 or whatever. But it seems like most days I can get away with like 15 to 1,800 calories and feel pretty good and still exercise. But when you're at the 1,000, 1,200, I was getting hungrier more often. I was less satisfied with the meals, and it was so easy to go over those calories. So I didn't really like the low calorie. I understand that, especially people trying to put their foot on the pedal, but it's like I'm doing good with the slow and steady over time, man, and it's making me feel good because my habits are improving over time. And so just the simple 1 meal a day and just focus on eating better. Like that's what anyone should be doing. No matter what you're doing right now, you should just take whatever you're doing and slowly improve your habits. If you eat 3 square meals a day, you can lose weight, gain weight, do whatever the fuck you want. Just every day try to do a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Then at the end of the week, be like, okay, you know what? I ate shit 4 out of those 7 days, but 3 days I killed it. Or 3 meals out of the fucking 21 meals that I ate that week were solid. Okay, next week I'm going to try for 4 meals or 5 meals. Okay, and I'm going to go for a walk every day. It's all about all that adding up every day. So when it came to all those diets, the one that I'm doing now is what's best. And let's talk about that right now. Why 1 meal a day works for me. And what I'm doing right now. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we get to there, let's talk about the benefits of fasting first. Why 1 meal a day works for me. So autophagy is a huge thing. All autophagy is when you're in a fasted state, your body. Autophagy mostly comes also from exercise. So you get a huge amount of autophagy from exercise, but what autophagy is essentially your body takes all of the damaged and non-optimized cells when you're in a fasted state and will break those down and use those as fuel. Meaning that your body is kind of like recycling itself for energy. Now, this causes a lot of that's the main thing. You also get this from exercise. One of the reasons why exercise is such a huge thing, but you'll also get that added benefit from fasting. And then it's also great for decreasing inflammation. It's really good for your digestive system. And there's a lot of really powerful cognitive benefits that you get from fasting. Now, on top of that, I also want to talk about some of the downsides with fasting. Now, especially the 24-hour fasting, it's not like what I do, I guess 23 hours ish. It's not as drastic as people say it is. It's one thing when you're going 36 hours, 48, 72s. I've done some long fasts, 100 and something hours. Those are drastic. But eating 1 meal a day, no matter what time you eat at, and so that's another thing too. There was a study that came out that said you get different benefits from eating at different times when you're doing 1 meal a day. So if you're only eating in the morning, there's different benefits. In the afternoon, there's different benefits, and in the evenings, there's different benefits. It's very interesting. I won't dive too deep into it, but it was a pretty interesting study. So one of the biggest things I want to talk about are some of the downsides to fasting, which this is a hard one to say that there's, but I wanted to come in with an unbiased viewpoint as much as possible. So I thought I would also talk about the downsides of 1 meal a day. It seems like, and this is the biggest thing about 1 meal a day, it's not the most optimal for nutrition absorption. So what does this mean? If you're doing 1 meal a day, it's a lot of nutrients coming into your body all at once. And especially something like protein that needs to be broken down into the amino acids and then, display. Anyways, by the time it's broken down, all of this protein is broken down, your body doesn't have a chance to utilize everything from the protein. So when it comes to the one meal a day, it seems that a smaller eating window, or a eating window, intermittent fasting, or a lot of people call it two mods, 2 meals a day, and kind of splitting everything up into just 2 meals, maybe over 4 hours, optimizes for nutrition absorption. It seems like, based on what my knowledge is, and that's really the biggest drawback. However, there's also a ton of studies showing that your body does utilize and absorb things much better when you're eating like this on the regular. So, but I wanted to come in with a very biased, or a non-biased opinion on fasting, and I just wanted to share. So like, I'm not malnourished or anything. I'm still almost 200 pounds and exercising, 5-6 days a week. I feel fine during this whole thing. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables though. And that's another thing too, is for the most part, my diet is pretty clean, and cleaner than most people's to begin with. So I'm not too worried about that. And I get a sufficient amount of protein. A couple other downsides to eating the 1 meal a day. A lot of people will overeat. A lot of people, just because you're eating 1 meal a day doesn't mean you can crush 4,000 calories and lose weight. You need to still be in a calorie deficit. No matter what you're doing, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So just magically eating 1 meal a day, you're not going to lose weight. That's just not how it works. And you could actually put on a bunch of weight eating 1 meal a day as well. Now, some of the other issues they blame on fasting, I have a hard time. There's lots of other things going on. There's mood issues, irritability. People get cranky when they don't eat. Sleep issues. So I'll talk about this one. When I eat, this is why I eat in the evening. It's so it doesn't affect my sleep. If I eat in the morning or even in the afternoon, I get pretty hungry, and then it starts to affect my sleep. That's why I like to eat kind of in the evening. I eat one big meal, and then, a couple hours later I go to bed. I try not to eat my big meal right before I go to bed. Obviously, that's a lot of food just to be going to sleep in, but again, I'm in a calorie deficit too, so it's not like I'm eating 3,000 calories and going to sleep. I'm eating 15 to 18, maybe 2,000 calories, mostly of meat and fruits and vegetables. Another thing is malnutrition. A lot of females tend to have issues with the OMAD because it's a lot of food to eat at one time. So a lot of them can't get quite as much protein and stuff in. So there's a lot of issues with not getting enough food in as well. Fatigue, headaches, all those kinds of things. But that has to do with any kind of eating pattern in figuring out your body too. Not so much just from fasting. Anyways, I just wanted to bring in the good and the bad from fasting. There's not a whole lot of downside to fasting if you can get away with it. I've been fasting for years now, but strictly 1 meal a day has been great. So let me talk about the 1 meal a day specifically. Why I like the OMAD. I'm doing pretty decent sticking to this little program I got. Let's see what we got here. Introduce myself, why I started, results, benefits and dangers of fasting. Why 1 meal a day works for me. Perfect. See, we're doing good on this one. I got too many things open here though. There we go. So why the 1 meal a day works for me. I hope this episode is coming out good. I know there's a lot going on even just for myself here. So why the 1 meal a day works for me. It's easy for me to track. That's the biggest thing. For one, I've done longer fasts, so eating one meal a day is nothing. A couple things I'll share is some days I still get hungry. On my rest days and stuff, there's some days where I'm just like, I just want to sit here and eat bags of chips. That feeling and stuff never goes away. It's just that you get better with more practice and commitment. Yeah, some days I just want to sit on the couch and crush cookies and chips. Yeah, of course. But if I'm going to do that, I'm at least just going to do it in 1 hour at the end of the day. And not to say that I don't have my cheat meals, and I have some delicious cheat meals too. And the one meal a day, pardon me, is great. There's some times where I've gone on dates, I've gone on dinner dates, I've gone on breakfast. There's been a couple times where I've switched and had my meal in the morning or during the day, simply because I was eating at an event, or I took a girl out, or something like that. So it's very simple to do. Even during holidays and stuff like Christmas, I may have opened my window a little bit more, but again, I was still only eating in an hour or two, which, how I've justified that as one meal to myself is, if you go and eat at a restaurant, it could take an hour or two to eat your meal, and no one's like, oh, that's more than one meal, bro. It's like, no, it's not. It's one meal. Even some fine dining, you can have a fucking 21 course meal at a restaurant that takes 4 or 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? That's like intermittent fasting more, but you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's just one meal. So during holidays and stuff, I didn't take a break from it. I just made it work for me. Like, I would save some of the breakfast stuff. I remember on Christmas, my family made eggs Benedict, and I made a birria tacos for dinner. And I just took some of that breakfast and I saved it to right before I started cooking, and I ate that while I was cooking, and then I cooked dinner, and then I ate dinner with everybody. So I made it work. You can make it work. It's pretty simple. It's simple for me. I can still, I don't have to think about food all day, and I can kind of add things up. Like, I wanted a couple chimichangas the other day. God, they were delicious. So, my mouth watering, just think about it. And so I worked it into my calories for the day. Not every day I hit my protein amount. Not every day I hit the calorie count exactly. Not every day I'm calculate. Every once in a while, most days I do everything as close as I can. And most days I succeed. But it's not about being perfect. It's about being realistic. And that's, I like fasting. I not like not having to track my food all day. I just drink coffee, tea, water, snake juice. I'll throw the odd Prime or Gatorade, 0-calorie Gatorade, or something in as well. I like the meals. Like, there's a lot of calorie-free things that aren't necessarily healthy for you, but won't necessarily break your fast technically. There's a whole thing with the artificial sweeteners that if you eat them, your insulin spike. You still will spike your insulin, just like if you were ingesting something with sugar. Which is bad for inflammation and bad for a whole bunch of other reasons. But, we're talking about weight loss right now, so I won't dive too deep into that. So that's why this one meal a day works for me. Why I haven't been switching or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, man, I think I'm doing pretty good here. Doing all of this stuff. And yeah, I like fasting. I always will. The one thing I do miss is so many people are pushing me to try to lose the weight faster, and yeah, maybe, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm getting the results. Let me throw up those fucking. Let me flex on y'all again. Let me throw up these pics again, man. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that result. It's so. Give me another, 3-4 months, and it's going to be incredible. The physique is going to be incredible. The transformation is going to be incredible. It's just about patience, hard work, consistency, because at the end of the day, man, it's about health and it's about longevity. And I was not healthy. You can tell. Look at this motherfucker right here. Look at that fat J. Look at that fat past J. Not healthy, much healthier. And regardless of what anyone says, the biggest thing that's really, really bad for you is to be overweight like that because it's hard on your system. Do you have to be shredded six pack or anything like that? No. But uh the smaller you are, the easier it is for your body to manage, pretty much. And then you just need some muscle, because muscle is just like the key to longevity as well. But let's talk about what I'm doing right now. What's my current strategy? Right now, I'm trying to shoot kind of, somewhere between 100 and 150 grams of protein, which I gotta say is pretty low for me, but I've been constantly kind of shooting for the 100, 115 grams of protein for the last couple of months. And I gotta say, I have not noticed any, because before I would always try to shoot for that 160 to 220 grams of protein, lots and lots of protein. But I'm starting to realize that you might just, again, I'm only speaking for myself, and I've only been eating about 100 and maybe some days 90, other days closer to the 160. But I definitely haven't been hitting like the 150 grams, 160 grams of protein consistently every day. But I definitely feel like I have not been losing any muscle. I feel much stronger, very mobile. It's just been interesting because all of my training and working out life, I've always been so focused on such high levels of protein. And most people need to get their protein up. Don't get me wrong. And if you're trying to build muscle right now, I'm just trying to maintain and not lose as much. But I've been pretty impressed with the amount of muscle I feel like I've been able to maintain. And I say maintain strictly based off of my strength gains. Now, if I was starting to lose a bunch of strength, drastically, I would then be more concerned and have to increase my protein number. When it comes to carbs and fats, I'm not too concerned about these numbers. I'm more concerned about the overall calories. Because I'm in a calorie deficit, I can get away with a little bit of carbs and not be holding on to a whole bunch of water. And, I just like the flexibility where I'm at right now. I'm still losing about a pound and a half a week. And I'm sitting at somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 calories, 100 and 150 grams of protein in a day, very loosely. With a cheat meal, every once in a while, whether it's once a week, maybe a couple times a week if I'm feeling really, but it usually is once in a while, maybe once every, it could be as much as twice, 3 times a week. It could be as little as once every 2 weeks, if you go back. I've had some delicious meals. I'm thinking about the Five Guys right now. Five Guys burgers and fries. Delicious, man. I also made this one meal where I took these what is that called? Brioche buns. And I made little breakfast sandwiches out of these mini sliders that were brioche. Oh, oof. We've had some good cheat meals, man. We've had some good cheat meals. Okay. Whew. Let's keep going here. We're almost through what I need to get through here. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. So that's what I'm doing right now. Shooting for that 100, 150 grams of protein, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 calories is going to put me in a deficit. I'm in a deficit at anywhere below kind of 2,400 calories. So, my workouts right now, I'm lifting about 4 times a week. That's another thing where I've kind of changed all over the place. At one time I was doing 2 very long workouts every week, and they were full bodies, and I was doing 1 or 2 very strong reps or sets of each one to failure. Got some good results then. I've since changed, and now I'm probably lifting about 4 days a week, doing a kind of a split, kind of like a bro split. And then I'm doing quite a bit of cardio nowadays, strictly because I love how it feels, man. I love just throwing on an album and running for as long as that album is. And my body feels good. It feels nice to be running. I can feel that it's good for my posture, good for my core, on top of the legs and the hip flexors and all that. Um, on top of that, I also do sauna or some kind of hot treatment 6 days a week, sauna or hot bath. That's really great for recovery. Also, really good on the days where I am holding a lot of water. It really helps. And yeah. Oh, and so another thing that I'm doing right now is, I told you I'd mention it later, is the race to 175 with Brandon. Brandon's trying to put on about 25 pounds. I'm trying to lose another 25 pounds. We're twins. And so it's just another fun, exciting thing just to kind of add a little spice to it, you know? So that's been really fun with him. You get to see his own challenges. You get to see him doing a different thing. He's trying to gain that weight, and it's just fun. Adds another dimension to the what I'm doing. One thing I want to talk on as well is cannabis. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. There's been a couple videos where I've had a few drinks around the holidays. I might have had a drink on my birthday. But I don't drink. I don't drink a lot anymore. It's just not for me. I just don't like the feeling of it so much. I'm a big fan of cannabis. I love, it's way less harmful on the system than alcohol is. Not saying that it doesn't have its downfalls, but I like to use it. I like to smoke before I eat. I like to smoke while I make music. And one thing I've learned is I like to smoke and run. Or do, not do an edible, but I was watching this marathon runner, and he eats an edible before he goes running. And I was dating this one girl who was doing edibles when she was running, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize all these marathon, not all of them, but so many of these people do cannabis and zone out. And I was like, or get into the zone with it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. So it's not that I recommend cannabis for anybody, and cannabis can have some health benefits, especially if you're dealing with cancers and stuff. That stuff gets really crazy. Some of the treatments they do with the high potency oils that they have. But as long as something is not, we all have our vices. I like cookies and chips and hamburger and cheeseburgers and french fries, donair poutines, and I also like smoking weed. And but I can get a 6-pack and smoke weed all day. Not that I'm smoking weed all day, but it not, to each their own. And I've had people in the comments and stuff being like, oh, this guy's a fucking pothead, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and I'm still fitter than you, bitch. That's right. I could be a stoner and I'm still stronger than you, bro. What you gonna say? It's like, what you gonna say, bro? And I'm asthmatic. And I can still run better than most of y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm not trying to throw shade, only at the haters. It's so funny. I had a comment one time. I said, because some people were giving me the gears about smoking weed. And not that I discriminate, but quite a few of them were fat motherfuckers. And I said, what's more harmful, this plant that I smoke or that cheeseburger you shoving down your throat? I didn't say it quite like that. I just said, hey, maybe you should check your diet before you come at me for my cannabis use. Way more people are dying from obesity than they're dying from cannabis. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's drastically more. Actually, now that I brought this up, I'm gonna check this one stat. Obese. Yeah, there was this new study. And I know it's. So there's a new study, and it came out that obesity kills more people than hunger does now. That's wild. We're talking globally. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy. People are eating themselves to death more than people are starving to death now. Anyways, I got kind of on a tangent here. So what are my recommendations? My recommendations to begin with are: do I recommend OMAD? If it's something you're interested in, for sure. It's something that I love. It's something that I enjoy quite a bit. It's something that I'm going to do moving forward. But what I can recommend is just make sure you're getting your protein in. That's one thing we can all focus on. There's so many. Is carnivore better? Are vegetables dangerous? Are sugars too high, or fruits too high in sugar? There's all kinds of crazy shit out there. But one thing I think we can all agree on is, if you're trying to lose weight, get your calories under control. Stop eating so much fucking food, regardless of what you're trying to do. Stop eating so much fucking food. Get your protein up and move. You gotta move too. You gotta move. Move your body. Your body loves it. Your body needs it. That's what I recommend. I'm not gonna recommend anything else, because, unless you're looking, hit me up if you're looking for some more help. I am a personal trainer, and I do have services I can help offer and keep you accountable and help keep you educated as well. But for a general blanket statement, it's whatever works for you, whatever you're going to stick to, whatever you're going to commit to, and whatever realistic for you over the long fucking term to reach your goals. That's what you're going to do. So, what does my next 6 months look like? Easy. I'm going to lose another 25 pounds. My goal this month is get to 195. My goal this week is to hit 197. I got all my goals. Oh, a big goal of mine is to beat my fucking twin brother. I'm getting to 175 first. And then I want to do a cool photo shoot. I want to do a photo shoot. I want to get down there. I'm going to continue to eat OMAD. Will I get more strict with it like I've done in the past? Maybe, yeah, and do some 2080 or do some low cals for a week or two. But right now I kind of am liking, I'm in a good space right now where I'm losing weight. I'm training hard, and I'm getting good sleep. And I'm still losing weight. I just just hit under 200 pounds the other day. Dropped 30. We hit the 30-pound weight loss goal, and so we're a little bit even ahead of schedule in 6 months. So if I lose another 25 pounds, we crushed it over the next 6 months. But after the 6 months, and so I'll talk about that too. So I want to do a cool photo shoot, and I also want to do a really cool music video when I'm that shredded down too. Why not? But after I hit this weight, I am excited to hit maintenance calories again. I have been in a calorie deficit for a very long time. And, I can tell with my performance and stuff in the gym, it's everything's going well and stuff still. But I can tell that I've been in a calorie deficit for so long. I don't got that extra juice in me, and I've been in a calorie deficit for 6 months, obviously. But I'm still performing fairly well considering all things. But I am, especially since I started jogging again for some reason, I was like, man, I can't wait to start doing some hardcore sprints for time and to really get my bench press up and, crank out way more pull-ups and all that. And so that's one thing I definitely am looking forward to after the next 6 months. I will be doing an OMAD video every day for the next 180 something days that we have left as well. So you'll get a whole bunch more one meal a day with Jay videos. We're gonna keep doing that. But then after the 6 months, I've really kind of fell in love with the vlogging. And so after the 6 months, I don't know if posting 7 days a week for forever is the most realistic thing, but I think I'll probably drop it down to 5 days. And every Monday I'll probably have like a 2-day, my weekend on that day kind of thing. But that's just, we got 180 more days of doing the video, so we'll see. And then once kind of what I've hinted at the beginning of the video is one thing is I'll probably switch to intermittent fasting, eating in a window, whether that's 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, just because it seems more beneficial, especially when I get my calories back up to like the 2400, 2700 calories, which I'll probably use to maintain weight once I'm down there, and 150, 200 grams of protein, lots of veggies, lots of fruit. Again, a lot of what I'm eating now, just more of it, almost double what I'm eating now, to maintain weight. And yeah, I'll probably switch to maybe like a 2 meal a day thing, but I'll keep fasting. I like eating in the evenings. I do. It works for me, especially when I start doing shows and stuff again, concerts and stuff again. I like to eat kind of after my shows, after my concerts anyway. So it just works. The style of eating just really works for me. So yeah, that's what I plan to do after. And then I'll keep dropping the podcast every week. We're coming up on 1 year of A Moment with Jay, which is my podcast. So stay tuned for the 1 year episode as well. That will be super exciting. I am going to keep up with the podcast for another season. I love it. People seem to enjoy it as well. And then on top of that, drop more music videos. So yeah. Woo! And I think I got through everything. I know that was kind of a information heavy episode. I want to throw up the picks again. I know that was an information heavy episode, but I really wanted to get to some questions. And I want to say it's really cool to connect with all of y'all. Thank you for supporting the music. Thank you for supporting the vlogs. And it's cool to hear about everybody's fitness journeys. It's interesting to hear about everyone's struggles, their ups and their downs, and all of that stuff as well. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for all the love, all the support. Yeah, I'm going to continue to eat the one meal, post the videos, weigh in every day, respond to all your comments and questions. And, we're going to be better versions of ourselves than when we started. And that should always be the goal with anything that you're trying to obtain. Why are you doing that? To be a better version of yourself. Awesome. And when you're doing stuff from that mindset, there's no real failures. There's only delays in progress. And delays in progress can be fixed. And you can achieve anything, and you can achieve all those things. And I know some of your goals are going to seem far away. Like, at the beginning of this, I was like, man, I got to lose 50 pounds. Damn. That's a lot of weight. But look at me now. I look back on the 6 months that have gone by, and it's like, yeah, I put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always, stress in life. And, some days you just want to smoke and eat the day away, and you don't, because you're trying to be a better version than you were before, and that's what I'm slowly building, and so I hope that in 6 months, when we have this conversation again, you've hit your goal, or you've come at least 6 months closer to your goal, and that you feel like you're a better person than you were when you started. And that's with everything. That's with music. That's with art. That's with life, relationships, everything, So good luck to you out there. Everyone achieving everything that they're trying to achieve this week, this month, this year, this lifetime. I wish you nothing but more love and more success. Remember, if you love me and you're trying to support the channel, get at me. www.primepurposemovement.com/shop. Buy the vinyl. It would mean a lot. I know it's kind of pricey, but it's a high quality album. It's got some amazing tunes on it, and I'm very excited to release it. With every project, one thing I like about, I'll just talk about some music stuff for a second. And at the end of this, there will be your A Moment with 1 Meal a Day with Jay will be the conclusion of this. So it will be the end of the podcast and then the beginning of the vlog, where you'll see me weigh in today. I haven't weighed in yet. I still got to exercise after this podcast too. So I'm going to finish this coffee. I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna weigh in, and then I'm gonna eat, and then that will be my day. But yeah, I like one thing I want to talk about albums, just because I was talking about so many other things too, was why I like releasing albums, and no matter what, I'm always gonna make albums. Is it's cool to see who I was at that time, and it's interesting to hear the sounds I liked in the things that I make during that time in my life. And just like I want to be a better person, I want to be a better musician, and it's cool to see my own growth in my own tracks. And it's cool to hear people's opinions on stuff. People still think I suck. Some people think I'm amazing, and it's cool to hear both sides either way. Yeah. Okay. I think we hit on everything. Thank you everybody for being here. Yeah. I'm feeling good right now in this moment. Thank you for listening. I know this was a lot of information. I wanted to try to do this as good as possible. I hope it turned out all right. Thank y'all. The next thing you will see is the closing screen, or I don't know what thing you'll see next. I guess that will be Jay the editor who will decide that. But this will be the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. More love, more success. You're incredible. This has been A Moment with Jay. What's going on, party people? It's your boy Jay, weighing in at 200.6 pounds. Not bad. Not quite the 199.0 pounds that we were earlier this week, but basically there. We've come a long way from that 228.6 pounds on October 16th, man. And as you can see, there's been highs, there's been lows, but we've always been consistently dropping from the beginning. And so feeling good. Goals to hit that 197 this week, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. So far, it's been a pretty decent month, as you can see. Let's get it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay. I was planning on doing a big workout today, but after recording the podcast, man, I was tired. So I just went on the treadmill for half an hour, then stretched out for about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to do about an hour here in the sauna, and just eat some food. Man, I am super sore actually from yesterday's workout. I had a great workout, I guess, yesterday. So super sore. Took it as a rest day, active recovery day, I guess. And then I'm going to hit the gym hard tomorrow. And man, I am feeling exhausted. So I'm just going to chill out for a little bit. And then, today will be just a simple recovery day. Damn, it's already getting hot in this sauna. I've been in it for 1 minute. Anyways, and I'm going to sit in here for a while, just chill out. And then, we'll eat. So the next thing you'll see is what BP got up to today. And then you'll see my meal. I guess you would have already seen me weigh in too. I wonder what I weigh in. I have no idea. Anyways, more love, more success.
All right, stepping on the scale this morning, weighing in at 156.2. We on the rise again. So I had a light breakfast. It was a banana with some vanilla yogurt and about 5 thick cuts of bacon. And then I ordered 2 wraps from a place called Opa. I don't know if Opa is everywhere, but it's this dope spot we have in Canada. It's like this Greek food. I think it's super good. So they had a 2-for-1 Uber Eats. We had to smash it. And then we had this catered sandwich place at work. So I got some potato salad and a sandwich, and then I came home and had a nice little stir fry. Good day eating. It'll be a nice, good sleep tonight. Tomorrow will be leg day. I'll see you guys later.
I was pretty happy with the scale today, so I decided to treat myself. This is all I'm eating tonight. It's not healthy whatsoever. I'm going to probably crush this entire bag. If you haven't tried these Ridges Extreme Honey Barbecue, holy fuck, crazy. And I told you I was craving a breakfast sandwich. I got the sausage and egg from A&W. And then I also got the new Nashville chicken. Ooh. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. I needed a nice little treat. I've been killing it, man. Yeah. So thank you to everyone watching, all the videos, all the subscriptions, everything. And don't forget, every once in a while when you hit your goals, treat yourself. I'm going to crush this. More love, more success. It's your boy Jay. Oops, I forgot to talk about the calories. I'm going to say this is about 2,000 calories. 700, 400, and this is going to be 1,000 about. Who knows what the protein is. I'm going to say about 2,000, 2,100. This might still actually put me in a calorie deficit of about like 2 or 300 calories, uh, which is pretty funny. But, so I'm still in a calorie deficit. Didn't hit my protein number today, but, I'm a manage. I'm treating myself. We hit the gym hard tomorrow. Okay, anyways, more love, more success.